Right, today I have got Chinese junipers. Got a fair few as well. As you can see, there is quite a bit of weeds in there. This is because Chinese junipers take a bit longer than other tree seeds to germinate. You need a cold period, a warm period, and then again another cold period. And during the second cold period is when they'll actually germinate. They won't germinate in the warmth. So it's always a good idea, like I had a question recently with the sakura. So with the sakura seeds, you'll put them in the fridge and you just wait. You wait for them to germinate, you wait for them to start popping out the soil until you take them out. Because if you take them out after the cold stratification period, 6-7 weeks, and you see nothing, you see no little bumps in the soil, nothing happening, you won't get anything straight afterwards in the warmth. It's not the warmth that causes them to germinate, it's the cold. That's the difference between, say, pine seeds. Pine seeds, you cold stratify them, and then as soon as you take them outside in your cold frame or something, after a couple of weeks, that's when they'll germinate. But yes, with these, I didn't know straight away when I first started doing this. Some of them are like this, like Dawn Redwoods are similar as well. So these have been in this tray for over a year now. So I would have cold stratified these, say, December, not last year, but the year before. And then it was only in December last year, a few months back, that these then started showing any life. And I just disregarded them, because it was the first time I grew, no, it wasn't the first time I grew Chinese junipers. I did grow a few 2 years back. But then I tried it with these and nothing was happening. And I thought, what's going on here? But no, they're fine. They just need longer periods. So what I've started doing now actually is I'll put these, I put fresh Chinese juniper seeds in the fridge now. I've actually just taken some out recently. Then I'll keep them in a bag, in their plastic bag, inside, so they get that constant warmth. And I'll probably keep them inside, in the bag, where it's going to be really hot and moisture is going to just stay in there. I'll probably keep them like that for 5-6 weeks, then I'll put them back in the fridge, and then that is when they'll start germinating. So we're trying to skip this whole year period, but basically these have been done naturally, except for the first cold period in the fridge a year back. Hence why there's so much weeds. So again, this is just like I did with the last video, how I separate them. This is going to be a bit more of a nightmare. I can imagine these are going to be very, very tangled. Because as I said, these started germinating in December and what are we on? So that's 5 months ago. So they're definitely going to be tangled up, so I have to be so careful. And with all this moss, this is why I normally use quite a bit of perlite on the top of seed trays. It makes it even more difficult to separate them. I'm not going to keep all the roots there anyway. So this one, that's quite pathetic, isn't it? What I've started doing as well is, this is for cuttings. It's like, it's got seaweed and stuff in there, it's all good stuff, but I figured just give it a dip in there. Surely that will help the roots grow even more. It's basically like condensed fertilizer. But I mean, I don't even have to chop these back. They're very small roots. They're going to be so much better off once they're in their own pots. I don't think you can see that angle. I'm going to push this that way, then I can start on this corner here. Yeah, it's about time I got around these. Oh, this moss just makes it so much more time consuming. So I just got that there. Not much roots there. But as I said, I think once they're in these pots, they'll spread their wings so much more. Shouldn't be leaving things in seed trays for too long. And even deep seed trays, I'll show you, I've got a load of Jack Blacks. I'll show you one sec. Hey Robin, what are you doing? The Robin just popped in to say hello. So like these Jack Blacks, you can see here, these have been in here for about a year. But in the middle, you can see it's starting to die back. Actually, a wood pigeon came in here and decided to make a little nest there, but they will start dying back, and it's survival of the fittest. If I kept them in there, say in 2 years there'll be only a few left. All the rest will die. That's why it's important to separate them. And so you can imagine in the seed tray, when they have such little root space, you need to separate them as fast as possible, within reason. Like, you don't want to do it straight away, but you want to do it before they start building anything but a tap root. And that's again why I stagger when I put things in the fridge, so I have the time to get round them. See, that's quite a long tap root. I'll just chop that. Yeah, there's a Curies though. They're really strong. Like, I've still got some Curies in the seed tray back here. But what I'll normally do is, once I've put them in 9cm pots, they'll always be 5–10% now just die. They just won't survive the move, and I'll just replace them. Otherwise I'm wasting space. Oh, I said I was going to put them here, didn't I? But you can see what I'm doing anyway. I think everyone gets it. It's so much nicer in this polytunnel. It's really cold today. It started snowing. Just had to go get some more compost as I got through so much of it. I did, how many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 6, 12. I did 12 of these trays yesterday, like filling up the compost and perlite with 42 per tray. That's very time consuming. So now I've got the more enjoyable bit, which I really don't mind doing. I just sort of go on auto mode when I do the when I do the pots. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing today. I need to rejig the water system at some point tomorrow or the next day, because it's very time consuming also manually watering everything, and I normally do have water systems on the go. I'm still waiting for some new automatic timers, because what happens is in winter, if you don't bring them inside, all the plastic and brass, it will just break. And we had a cold spell like a few weeks back, and I decided to put the water system on. I kept it on, kept the water running through there, and it just burst the whole lot. Yeah, lesson learned. I already learnt that lesson. I learned it again, just forgot that it was gonna be frosty that night. But yeah, anyway, this is what I'll be doing. That's a big one here. He's going to need a bit of help. Don't know if you can see that. I'm not sure what the sort of range is on this camera. You can probably see that pallet above the bakery tray above my head. That's because when I'm here doing the pots, without it, the wind as well just keeps scraping my head. It's quite irritating. So I just bang that pallet up there. I need to figure out something else with that. Wow, this one's roots go quite far. Look at that. This is what I mean. Imagine doing that to every single one. It just takes ages. It's not what you want. And then when you put them in the pot, you can't put them in a pot like that. It's just going to cause a really bad root system. So I'll chop it back, and then that can all root off of those. And then again, I'm just going to give this a go, see how well it does, and throw it in the 9cm pot. I have waffled on a bit here, haven't I? I'm gonna have to turn this off now. I should do one of those live streams, but I think my signal up here is quite bad. We don't get very good signal, so we rely on the Wi-Fi, but I'm probably 40 meters away from the house, so I very much doubt I'll pick up the Wi-Fi. But yeah, I'll keep everyone updated on my day-to-day activities. See you later, everyone.